Welcome back. This is Scott Tanker, host of Breakfast with the Boss. We are here each and every Thursday on RVN TV. We want you here each and every Thursday from 9:30 to 10 and 10 to 10:30. Why? Because we want to introduce you to people who have a purpose, they have a passion. Of course, they're moral and they're legal. They're upstanding young citizens, and sometimes they're people who can really help you in your business life, your personal life, or just your attitude about things. And today, we have probably the second most important expense in your life besides your kids, and that is your benefit coverages. How many people out there look at their benefits and have no idea what they have? If you're an individual or you work for a company, typically you have benefits. In today's post-Obama world, you still have to have benefits. But the point is, do you know what you have? Do you know what you're spending? And if you're an owner of a company, is this the best thing for your employees? Today I have a specialist. She has been doing this for over 20 years. I think I've known her for maybe 15 of those 20 years, maybe all of them. Her name is Amy Webb, and she is the owner of Saratoga Benefits Services. Amy, how are you?
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to our show. I tell you, I hate benefits. I don't mean I hate you. I hate benefits.
I totally understand.
I'm a single guy. I just had an increase in benefits. And if I want to go to a doctor in Pennsylvania, I had to pay more, $400 more a month. I'm not complaining. Yeah, I am.
Yes,
but
you are.
I'm not complaining. But it's an amazing situation. You know, we go back a long ways. I'm in the benefits business on the retirement plan side, but I know enough to get me in trouble here. You have to help us out there. What's going on in this world. But before we get there, tell us a little bit about Saratoga Benefits. I understand you're celebrating your 20th anniversary.
We are.
Fabulous. But tell us a little bit how it got started and your aha moment and where this all came from for you.
Sure. I'm happy to tell you. We've been in business, you said, for 20 years. We're located right on Main Street in Morristown. And finally decided to go out on my own. Had kids. They were young, trying to balance everything, family, work. And found that the competition that was out there in the benefits market wasn't that great. And I was working in the general agency market where we're dealing with other brokers and helping consult with their clients. And I realized that they really weren't up to speed and didn't know as much as I knew.
Right.
And so my husband encouraged me, said, you should go out on your own. No need to work for someone else. Do it on your own. See if you can work part-time and try to, again, balance everything. And I was fortunate that I kept trying to work part-time, but it ended up turning into full-time. So part-time lasted about 2 years, and then now we've grown and again are celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Well, we do go back a long way, and I was teasing in the beginning. And benefits are so very important to an employee. They're so very important to an employer. The cost and the perception that an employee has that a company is taking care of them is unbelievably important.
Correct.
So you're in the benefits business, and frankly, a lot of people do what you do. But you got in this business 20 years ago, which was a whole different world back then.
It was. And actually, I have to say, I got in the business way before 20 years ago.
Oh, you started your own business.
Exactly. Started my own business 20 years ago, but actually got into the business right out of college. And I won't say when that was.
No, you look so young. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
But it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And but actually, my first job out of college was with, at the time, HMO Pennsylvania, which became U.S. Healthcare, which was then purchased by Aetna. And we know where that has gone and how it's grown. So it was a great entree into the benefits business, and it was interesting though, how things, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Right.
Back in the day when we were selling HMOs and they were the new plan, we were selling
the managed
care, and we were selling against the traditional plan, right, with deductibles and co-insurance.
Right.
And so now I'm back out, representing high deductible plans, which have deductibles and co-insurance, and selling against really now the HMOs and trying to get people to go back to that more traditional plan. So
just the pendulum swings.
Exactly. Things have gone full circle.
You work with mainly small businesses. And by the way, folks, want to get a hold of Amy. Her number is 856-642-2949. And she's on 7 East Main Street in Morristown, New Jersey. Not Morristown, down here in the Delaware Valley. But you work with a lot of small businesses, anywhere from a couple employees, probably up to 50 or 100, I think we talked about. It's a different market than once you get over 100, you can actually do a little bit more things. in the old days, at least I
Right.
presume it's still correct. How do people in small businesses struggle with this? How do they deal with this? And how can you help in certain ways?
Yeah, it is such a challenge for employers nowadays. The costs have just skyrocketed. And unfortunately, your health insurance is a necessary evil. So, and nobody, just like yourself, wants to deal with it because it can be complicated and very expensive. And so the challenge nowadays is that employers are faced with is trying to figure out, first of all, how they can afford it with their bottom line.
Right.
Most employers, though, still want to give a benefit to their employees that has value and is affordable to them.
Right.
And they're very frustrated because, I'm an employer myself, I have employees, and each year I want my employees to be able to take more money home in their
Right.
paycheck.
Take a step up.
Take a step up, exactly, and that's what's going to keep them as a happy employee. But I really have seen employees' payroll stay flat over the last 5, 6, 7 years because even though they might be getting that 3 or 4% pay increase, we're taking it away because of the additional payroll deductions for their
No,
health
there's
insurance.
actually been studies, and I'm sure you've seen them, that
Right.
our money doesn't go as far today as it did in the 70s.
Nope, exactly. And
And that's a problem.
it's a huge problem, and it's challenging for you who's in the 401k and the pension business,
Right.
trying to get people to put those dollars aside when they can't increase those dollars.
There's no places.
Right.
All the government's asking you to do at this point because of these expenses is you need to cut back your expenses. Well,
Correct.
that's not always the way to live at a happy, progressively, mentality.
Right.
So that you live life. I remember growing up, the 60s,
Yeah.
when you knew the next day was going to be better than the last day, almost
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
And that's kind of a neat feeling to grow up. And now in a business, it's the same kind of thing.
Right.
And benefits can drag you down a little bit, or they annoy you, and then all of a sudden they affect your productivity. We know that
Right.
benefits help to attract, retain, and reward.
Exactly. They do, and they still do. I mean, if you talk to most employers, HR directors, and individuals, one of the most attractive thing to employment is being offered benefits,
Right.
because now they're so much more costly in that individual market that even though the benefits are less and they're costing more through your employer, it's still the best value. It's still the best place
Right.
for where to get your coverage.
And what employers should be doing, they tried to do it years ago, is to create a sheet where people can understand how much they're really spending on their employees.
Correct.
And hundreds of
hidden
years ago, it
paycheck.
felt like it just didn't work. But that hidden paycheck of you're getting 30-40% more than your payroll, your W-2 paycheck in these other benefits. Now we have to take a break because we have sponsors too.
Okay.
But we have so much to talk about because I'm going to talk about the voluntary benefits and the HSAs and the things that employers might be able to do that might help them a little bit, which I don't think they know about.
Absolutely.
I want you to stay here with me and Amy Webb, Saratoga Benefits Services, the owner and chief operating officer of that company for over 20 years now. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
And I don't think I really.
Welcome back. I am here with Amy Webb, of the president of Saratoga Benefits Services. She is president, and they're celebrating her 20th anniversary, but she's been doing this for even longer than that. But the point is, today, we're trying to help people understand their individual health benefits and what maybe they can do, and their group health benefits if you're in a small, closely held corporation, what they can do. What are some of the things that you could tell a group benefit situation that's small, that I can make things work a little easier, that some of them don't even realize it's not that expensive to add some of these programs, which are tax deductible and things?
Exactly. So, nowadays, obviously, high deductible plans have become very popular. And so we've really taken on a more of an educational approach, consultant approach to educate employees and employers on how best to use a high deductible plan and how to be creative in the way you help finance that deductible. So, it's all it's a math problem. And it's doing the math to determine, who do you want to put more money in whose pocket? Do you want to keep more money in you as the employer, or do you want to give more to the insurance company? Generally, the math on a high deductible plan versus something that has co-pays and more first dollar coverages, you're going to save some significant premiums that is going to enable you to use those dollars in other ways more creatively, that employees will actually give those employees more value.
Even though the deductibles are higher, which can be pretty painful.
Correct.
There are ways to minimize some of that.
Correct. In the insurance industry, it's still, it's the 80-20 rule. 20% of the employees incur 80% of the claims. So for 80% of the population who has maybe $500 to $1,000 a year
Minimal
in medical
issues.
expenses, right? For them having a Cadillac plan, right? They're really overpaying for something that they're really not going to get great value out of. So with that high deductible plan where the employer can save some dollars and then put those dollars into either an HRA or an HRA is a health reimbursement account,
right,
or an HSA, a health savings account,
right,
then the employee has the flexibility on how they want to use those dollars. So the HRA account is an employer-funded account,
right,
and that's money where the employer allocates $1,000 or $2,000
into a bucket,
and employees can pull from it, and any money at the end of the year that isn't used isn't spent by the employer.
Right.
Okay, and then with the HSA, the health savings account, that is an account where either it can be employer dollars, employee dollars, or a combination of both that can go into that account to help fund your non-reimbursed health care expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I mean, the HSA, I think from an employee perspective, is probably the most valuable.
How could it not be when you
Correct.
get to use those dollars year in and year out? And it's interesting that to add a thought, interject, they
Right.
now have 401k plans where they set up HSAs inside the 401k.
Oh, okay,
And I don't know
that's
whether
great.
that's a problem for your business because I don't think you actually do that administration. So you'd
Correct.
have to vend that out. But I find it to be interesting because those are dollars. Those
Right.
are savings. If you don't use them for something else, you can use them for that.
Right, exactly. Well,
Sorry, folks, just getting over a cold.
yeah, no problem. Everyone's had it.
Yeah.
So with the actually from the vendors for the HSA
Yeah.
administration, initially when the carriers came out, and they still do, they have an affiliate that is their preferred vendor for the HSA. And the advantage of using that vendor is that generally while you're insured with that carrier, there's no fees for that plan.
That's important
But-
too in small business, small close-out companies.
It is, but we've kind of moved beyond that now because generally speaking, your smaller employer is changing carriers every couple of years. And every couple of years to change your HSA vendor, it's like changing your 401k vendor, rolling over
It's
funds.
painful.
More cumbersome.
Yeah.
So we've really now get to the point where we're recommending, find a good vendor for HSA, stick with it. Even if you're paying a couple dollars a month, it's really still less expensive if the employer's
Keep
picking
moving around and getting angst and getting mistakes and the things happen. Stuff
Exactly,
happens.
exactly. So, and nowadays, the frustration, so many people are frustrated with, sign-ons and passwords and having to do all of that. So we try to keep
And
it
we're all
simple.
so busy these days. Now,
Right.
for the employer, that's good, and for the employee can be good.
Absolutely.
Do you find those things in small closely held plans? What are you finding out there? What are you actually doing when you meet a XYZ client?
Well, we're definitely the HSA is the most popular plan. I would say probably 80% of our clients at least have it available as one of their choices, if not their only choice.
Okay.
However, it's interesting though. What's happened is, we've had clients with HSAs now for 5, 6, 7 years. And it's frustrating, again, because even because they have these high deductible plans, they're still, though, seeing these 10, 15, 20% rate increases.
Right.
So employees are complaining and whining and, saying, we want, this is costing us too much. We want the copay plan. We want a $20 copay. So even though you and I both know that the rates for that are going to be astronomical, we're actually finding ourselves now going back in, putting in a richer plan alongside that high deductible plan, and then allowing the employees really to re-educate them, to get them to do the math again so that they feel better about their high deductible plan, about their decision. Exactly.
Now, how does voluntary benefits come into play to help people? Because a lot of people nowadays are really hot on voluntary benefits. Some of them people used to laugh about.
Right.
It's like annuities. Some people
Right.
laugh, some people say, no, you don't get it. These are actually better than you think.
Right.
Well, in the past, annuities are horrible. Yeah, well, that was in the past.
Right.
Now let's talk about the voluntary benefits today. And there's 2 or 3 major companies
Right.
out there.
Exactly.
How does that integrate with these benefits?
So, they are becoming more popular in that they can help fill some of those gaps. And so, the gaps they're filling, though, are things such as if there's an accident, an emergency room visit, a hospitalization.
And they're valuable, right? These are really valuable benefits. I don't know if people understand they need to
Right.
talk to their health benefits consultant, or they absolutely need to call Amy.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And they're valuable, but again, the key there, and that's really our job, and what we try to do is make sure we're working with the client, the individual employees, to try to understand what their family situation is, to determine if this makes sense for them or not. So if they have a high deductible plan and they do have an HSA, then the challenge is, are they better to buy the voluntary benefits, pay that premium,
Right.
which generally is pre-tax, or would they be better, instead of paying that premium, contribute more into their HSA? Okay.
Now, there's worksheets to help them get through this, and people like yourself and your staff that help them work through these things.
Exactly. And, generally speaking, it comes down to what their cash flow is. What kind of money do they have available? Most people in today's world are living paycheck to paycheck. So they don't have that emergency fund, so that if they do have that, accident, or have a child ends up in the emergency room or something, prepaying that small amount through the voluntary benefits to have that benefit when they need it, can be better. But I feel like it's like my father. I'm talking like my father used to tell me, is to you got to save for a rainy day. I'm really finding that our job as a consultant is re-educating employees about what benefits health insurance is supposed to be.
And help you understand what's most important for you.
Correct.
Because it is a puzzle.
Correct. And,
Absolutely.
just to add to that, we draw the example where, if you have a homeowner's policy or auto insurance, what do you do to control premiums? You increase your deductible. And a lot of times you have an auto accident, you don't submit the claim, because you're better to keep that off the books and self-fund it and pay it out of pocket.
But those are great ideas, but they're unbelievably new to this particular industry. That almost
Right.
hurts to hear it, because it's almost like saying, geez, I used to get my TV free. Now I got to pay
Right.
$200 a month. And
Correct.
the younger people get it. People aren't my age, I don't think, get it.
Right.
And I'm older than I look. Stay right with us. We have a couple more sponsors, and then we're
Okay.
going to come back. We're with Amy Webb, the president of Saratoga Benefits Services. You can see how much she can help you by virtue of just picking up the phone, 856-642-2949. Give her a call. Her or her staff will be happy to meet with you. But stay with us. We still have a couple things to talk to Amy about. We'll be right back.
Everybody.
Welcome back. This is Scott Tanker, and I'm here with Amy Webb, the president of Saratoga Benefits Services. We're on our final segment, and we want to talk to you about some of the things you as an individual or corporation maybe can do. But in order to understand that, you need to understand the kind of things that Amy and Saratoga does for you, so that the playing field's level, because so many people come at you from different angles in this business. You need to understand the playing field so that you can compare providers. Having said that, you're very successful. You're very good at what you do. I've certainly known you for a long time. You have a great reputation. What do you do when you meet somebody? What is your thing?
I guess, what is our thing? Everyone obviously wants us to try to save them money is usually the
And you're not
certainly.
just getting quotes.
No,
that's what
exactly. And we've moved beyond that.
Yeah.
Prices are prices. It does. I know it sounds trite, but it does come down to service. It comes down to reputation, and the value that we can bring. And really, what makes us unique, we're sort of what I would call a boutique benefits department. I mean, we focus purely on employee benefits. We have partnered with another company, BCA Insurance, on a property casualty side.
That's a nice 1-2 punch.
Exactly. They're an affiliate, and we're their benefits department, and we can offer their property casualty
Well, they
services.
have them come on the show.
Exactly. We'll
All
have
right,
them
you
come.
talk to
Exactly.
talk to Larry. Yeah,
exactly.
okay, yeah.
So anyhow, we're bringing in that piece, but still, our main focus at Saratoga is that benefits piece. And what we, in this world of merger and acquisition, we've seen our market condense. So a lot of firms like ours have been gobbled up by large companies, and then a lot of our clients, that small to mid-size employer, that has up to a couple hundred employees, they end up being a small fish in a big pond. Whereas with companies like ours, they're going to be that big fish.
Always wanted to be that way with me. I mean, not that I have an ego,
Right.
but one of the most important things about your firm, which I know
Right.
is responsiveness.
Correct.
It's important to answer the phone, but answer the phone with a responsive type answer. And it's okay if you don't know it right away.
Right.
Go get the answer. I've always known that about your firm. About how many folks now are in your firm?
So we have Small operation, 4 employees. So we have a person that specializes in any claims, billing, enrollment issues. Kim does a great job, and again, like you said, follows through, gets back. And that's the other thing we'll do for, as opposed to employees losing time trying to fight with insurance company and be on hold.
Work through the maze.
We do that for you.
I can tell you, I just recently moved. And the calls I've had to the electric company, the Comcast, the Xfinity, the Dish, I could have made a lot of money if I didn't have to worry about that. I was too busy worrying about that connecting. But by the same token, I've got it done.
You got it done.
And there it is. And that's the cool thing about Amy's firm is that one call does it all.
Right.
You call them, you lay the problem on them, and they'll work it out for you because that's what they do.
Right.
And they'll work it out with you because that's what they do.
Right.
And that's just a great thing to have that support because I'm an individual, which is one of the last questions I want to ask.
Right.
Individuals don't get a lot of service because we're just individuals.
It's true.
And so how do you help us?
So we do, and it is difficult for individuals in this marketplace trying to deal through whether it's healthcare.gov or we're going directly to the carriers depending on if a person qualifies for a subsidy or doesn't. But when we do have to deal with that layer of healthcare.gov, it does make it certainly more challenging. But, again, and the other challenge with that individual market is now in our industry, so much business is pushed through in that fourth quarter. So fourth quarter in the month of November
it's crazy.
We're doing everyone who has to enroll or re-enroll in the individual market.
In the whole world.
Okay? Same thing you've got, that's your Medicare open enrollment.
At you, but I know the problem.
But it's true.
And,
and you've got Medicare open enrollment, so, it's difficult. That said, again, when they call our office, they're still going to get a person. They're not going to get voicemail or put on hold, and we'll get back to them and get them an answer and get them enrolled.
10,000 people a day are becoming 65.
Right.
Are you you work on the Medicare side and help people consult through that stuff?
We do.
That is, talk about another issue. I want you to come on and talk about that one day alone. The book is that thick. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. People are
crazy.
so overwhelmed. A year before they turn 65, they start getting all the mail and. They usually come into our office with their stack and tell me what should we do.
Oh, you know me.
Right.
And I'm in the business.
Exactly.
I love it. Yeah.
And mostly they're just willing. They just want us to, this is what you want to do and go with it. And so, but again, we're there to help.
Amy, you and your firm are so valuable to someone's health benefits. Some of the mental side of the health benefits, which is, things are taken care of properly.
Right.
When you become 64, you need so much help in understanding the Medicare, Medicaid situation. Your company's been there for 20 years. It's going to be there for another 20, I'm sure, because you look like you're only 20 years old. So good job.
Love you.
40
I love
years
you.
old the most.
I know. Thank
anyway,
you.
Amy, you have been such a great guest today. I want to make sure you come back if things change, because things are changing. Mr. Trump and Mr. Obama did not look at healthcare the same way.
Correct.
And so we don't know what's going to happen. And I have friends who work for the largest companies in the healthcare field, and of course friends like yourself who work for the small, closely held. I want you folks to call Amy. She's located in Morristown, New Jersey. I'm going to give her a minute to tell you exactly how to get a hold of her. But I just want you to know how important your job is and how we thank you for helping, because small business is so hard as it is. If they can find someone like you, really like Amy and her staff, that's qualified and professional and responsive. And of course, the rates are the rates because that's the way it is nowadays. So now you're looking for that extra touch that they can help you. They don't take a quote and come over and hit and run you. They actually work through you. They're there all during the year. They're always there when you need them. And this is the kind of health and welfare consultant you need as a small company. So I strongly recommend you meet with Amy and her staff, and certainly she'll be happy to talk to you. Speaking to that one camera we talked about, tell them how to get a hold of you and, of course, where you are and all that good stuff.
Sure. So we'd love to hear from you. We are located, our international headquarters is on Main Street in Morristown, New Jersey, right across from the community house. We can be reached at 856-642-2949. Certainly also go to our website, saratogabenefits.com. We're there to help. We'll work with small, mid-sized, large employers. We have solutions for everyone, and some technology solutions, other value-added benefits we can offer. And for our larger clients, we really want to be their back office HR support. So we're there to expand your team and, again, bring more value to that small and mid-sized employer.
If you don't know Amy and her firm, I think you need to know her. I think you need to give her a call and see exactly how they can help you. It's a It's a second opinion without a copay.
That's right.
How
That's
about
right.
that, folks?
It's free.
You don't have to pay for this. But this is exactly what you need. Every so often, you need to make sure you're doing the right thing. And with all due respect, make sure the person who's selling you and working with you now is doing the right thing on your behalf. No one in this industry is upset that people ask for a second opinion. That's the way it is now. There's no insult. There's no questioning. This is business. It's not personal.
Right.
And that's why Amy and her firm can help you. They're incredibly objective and they're responsive. They're local. Give her a call, at 859-642-2949. Thank you so much for being here
Thank
today.
you. My pleasure.
This
Thank
is
you.
Scott Tanker saying goodbye from Radio Vision Network TV, Breakfast with the Boss, each and every Thursday from 9:30 to 10 and 10 to 10:30. Stay with us. We'll have more coming soon. Amy, please come back again.
Okay, I'd love to. Thank you.
Have a great week, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week. Take care.